Josh Snow back today talking about two things I think are undervalued in the pass game: chip protection and also the dash world. Right. So for anybody who knows my kind of thought process, I love pushing the ball down the field. I hate drop back. Right. So play action, chip protections, dashes. How can we steal pass game reps down the field, push the ball down the field, and not have to sit back there and protect with 5 or 6 man protections? I think this is the first way I'm looking at. So I think NFL does this really well. College and high school, not so much. The chip protection stuff. Now, I like Chip Pro a very specific way, and I'll show you why. So this is a fantastic clip. You'll see at the end zone of our running back doing it against Temple in 2019. So that guy was a freakazoid at the end, right? We knew we had to chip it to protect it, that whole world. I do not like it with the running back. Here's why. So this whole week, we're in 6 man insert protection, right? So our running back, right, normal rules, we're sliding this way, we're man, man, and now our running back is check releasing. The issue is, what do you tell this tackle, right? Because you can't tell the tackle to depend on the chip to set more inside, because if somebody rushes and you lose your back, now we have bad leverage and we're going to be on the speed rush. So you can't tell him to depend on it. You also don't want him to set normally and then we chip it and this guy falls back off inside. So I do not like it too with the running back. It's also a really hard angle from the backfield with the running back. Took a shitload of practice, not worth it, right? So like he has to arc release, do all this kind of stuff to get to him, right? So it's bad schematically. It takes a ton of work from a actual technique standpoint. I like it. I think it's much easier with the tight end. Okay, so an off the ball, tight flex, tight end, whatever. You can do it to the slide side, to the man side. We know we're getting it. The tight end is not in any sort of protection, right? So the tackle can absolutely depend on this chip to happen. Right, the chip mechanics are actually really, really simple. Right, so now this tackle knows that I'm getting the chip. So now I can set more. I can be more aggressive, more inside, all that stuff, knowing that's almost like a bumper, is how I talked about it in like bowling. It's like this guy's just gonna bumper him to keep him inside. Right, so now I can set really, really aggressive here. From the actual chip perspective, we're just taking our shoulder, running through the outside number, and getting into our route. I think you can utilize this on a ton of routes. Anytime he's not dependent on, like Kurt Warner talks about this, I agree completely. Anytime he's not dependent on for an immediate horizontal stretch or obviously any sort of vertical route, use it. So all my floods, we can use them either way on all the floods. A lot of the drop back stuff on the backside where he's just running these snags and stuff or throwing digs so behind it. You can use him for all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a ton of places to use the chipping. Right, it's just a perfect look, right? We're just providing a bumper like in bowling. We're keeping this guy inside, and now I can set to it, and everybody's happy. We're just taking the speed off of this guy. Go to the end zone here. The rule is, right, so we're chipping the widest rusher. So if they bring some sort of edge pressure, same thing. I'm chipping. I'm taking my inside shoulder through his outside shoulder. We're chipping it, and we're working off the widest edge rusher, right? So any sort of pressure, we're chipping that and then coming off. All right, so this is like super simple. It doesn't really affect anybody but the chip side tackle. All the rules remain the same, right? You can use them on the nub side, drags, that sort of world. All my floods, you can use them either side, right? So there's a ton of applications. You just have to kind of play with it and see what you like. Okay, so much easier than using the running back in the man sort of protection. Backside, right, of your choices. This is where I would use them. Backside of my drop back game, right? We can chip, and he's gonna run the snag, and we're on digs, and all that kind of juke world behind it, right? Because we're late in the progression, we can take speed off and help the offensive line there significantly, right? So we really like this now because they're basically the only guy one on one now is the man side guard. We're sliding. We should always be really, really solid on the slide side, and now we're getting help to this tackle. So now I'm just leaving. If you have a good guard, right? Something to or a really bad defensive tackle you're going against, utilize this, right? We should be really solid here. We should be really, really solid here. And now I'm leaving just one guy, one on one to throw the ball. All right. So as much as I can help those guys out, I think pass protection is probably the hardest thing out there right now. Right. So as many times as I can steal reps and not just do true drop back, I like it. So that's super simple. This is also really easy, right? You'll see the NFL guys do this. This will be 11P, right? So tight end to one side, right? And this is like a really tight split receiver. You could do it just the same from two tight ends, right? So free and lay, double chip, whatever you want to call it. It's still six-man pro. All rules remain the same. Now I'm giving help to just both tackles, right? And I can still throw a lot of my deep shots off of this, right? All my pylons, all my like three-man floods are all still good. Like there's a ton of really good throws still, even this double chip protection, right? So I can be really, really solid and still take these deep shots if I don't like play action for whatever reason, or if I have to get eligibles out. All right, not as much of this stuff, right? I would love to run the double move storm type thing and bring that crosser right back there, right? So there's a ton of things we can do off this to help both tackles out. Now, once again, we're putting all of our pressure on our man side guard, right? We should be super solid to the slide. We should be really, really solid down here to the man side tackle with the chip. Now I'm just putting pressure on one guy to get the block done. Now, so Mary Molly. So this is kind of reverse engineered. I'm not exactly sure if they're doing it this way, but this is like your maybe chip, right? So this is a six-man insert, so ignore this for now. Okay, so this is six-man insert, like we originally talked about, protection. Let's draw it up real quick. All right, so our slide sides here. This is all remains the same. We're going to chip and run whatever route we run on that play. If there's any sort of indication of man side pressure, then it stays on. Nobody knows the difference. We play our six-man rules, yada, yada, yada. If it's a really clean look, okay, backers are at depth, all that kind of stuff. We have no sort of indication of pressure. The quarterback will then move the running back up, the tailback up here. And now we're just getting our double chip that way, right? So it's a way pre-snap. We're not, so we're doing the running back chip stuff, but it's pre-snap determined. It's not post-snap. It may happen, may not happen. Like we know pre-snap, we are getting the chip, right? So any sort of protection issues, it's six-man. Nobody knows the difference. We're rolling. As soon as it's a really clean look, there's no pressure. Let's move the running back up. Running back can give the tackle a call like, hey, I'm here to help you, and then get back out on the route. So these will all be like clean looks, right? So this is, you can do it with a, I like the 4x1 stuff, right? You can throw all your floods this way. I think this is a great set to do double chip stuff out of. Different ways to do it. I just think this is the best way, right? So pre-snap, the running back would start back here. Linebackers are at depth. There's no sort of insert issues there. Quarterback, move him up. Tailback, give the tackle a call. And now we're double chipping and getting back out on the route. If I have any sort of mug linebackers or this guy's at, he's showing indication that he's pressuring, I would keep the running back there, and we'd keep the same mechanics on as six-man chip protection originally discussed. All right, so the double chip stuff is great. Like you get your best pockets doing this kind of stuff. Like I think this stuff is just undervalued. So great. So in man, so pretend like the running back. This might be a best one. In man, you always want, if you can, right? If they're not doing sim stuff, you always want the running back to chip in man. And you don't want it back here, right? Because if you want it back here, they're a green dog and add people on. As soon as you spread them out, you get the coverage guy out. Then you select your chip and run the routes. So man coverage, you definitely, right? Unless they're simming and doing kind of stuff. Just in general, man pressure, you always want the running back out so you don't have green dog issues. Right, just another good look at the double chip world. Another one is 5 up, so we're going to make our 5 call. Okay, I don't have a sixth issue here. They're showing some sort of man. We want the double chip. So the double chip solves edge issues. Okay, it does not solve interior issues, right? So you'll get the 5 up world where now they're just going to play off, right, and just try to work your guards and centers. So something to look at, right? It solves edge issues, not interior issues. Right, so there's no sort of, imagine the running back was back here pre-snap. There's no sort of insert issue. Move the running back up, get our double chip. We're solid here. And now defensively, if you're getting a double chip stuff, you want to go with the bear world, right? Because they'll get you on the edges. But defensively, you can have all your three-man games and go 3 for 3. Tough world to live in offensively. The more 5 it, the more sacks, right? So try to full slide it. There's some PA protection world. I don't want to stay in this type of world if they're going to play all these games in here. Underutilized. I think this stuff is really, really good. So this is the end of the half call. I don't know if I have the ends or the no. So this is like 10 seconds left in the half. I think this is combining the chip world and the dash world. All right, so we're gonna chip the edge. It's a little bit different. We're sliding, slide. Which way are they sliding here? Oh, let me make sure I'm right here. Yeah, so sliding away. We're gonna overset the man side, chip any edge pressure or edge showing, because the quarterback's gonna take 3, and then it's a pre-designed roll. So take 3, pre-designed roll. Once again, like how can I steal reps and not sit back here like a sitting duck and let these guys pick on my offensive lineman? So you don't really see this that often in the wild. This is something I would want to invest in a little bit more, is these predetermined chips and rolls. 3-step, and now we're rolling to that side, right? And now we're throwing all of our floods, all that sort of stuff I love. Right, so I'm just throwing you a lot of things here, a lot of ideas. You can kind of pick and choose what you like here. Some of it's more involved, some of it's not involved. This is pretty easy to do. This isn't any sort of check like the stuff I was just talking about. This is easier to do. Same thing. How can we steal reps, throwing the ball down the field? I think the dash world is great, right? The offensive line is running full slide left here, whatever you call that call. Full slide left. The tight end is pinning the defensive end. And now a couple different things you can do with your running back, right? You can lead block if you have an athletic quarterback, or you can just run them on the shoot, right, and create your 3-level floods that way, right? So this is great for the offensive line because, right, so basically you're getting out here. These guys can smoke a cigarette. They can basically not touch a soul on this play, and you're getting the ball outside and throwing the deeper shots off of it. Issues that show up. Okay, so obviously you can pick up any sort of interior pressure. Same thing with nakeds and keepers, kind of my issue. It's like it's easier to pick it up inside. The issue is now, right, any sort of pressure, backside or interior pressure, you have this end is now looping, right? If they're worth a piss. This end's looping. You're trying to get outside, right? You'll kind of end up getting hemmed up right here. So something to look at. Another issue is obviously edge pressure right into it is not what you want. You either throw hot or your running back will have to pick it up if that's how you choose to do it. Right, so really good against like just base 4-down stuff, as is most of this world. You can get the ball outside. Don't like it as much with the pressure issues if this guy does what he's supposed to do and contains it. If you do dash, okay, and I would recommend every system has it in, I would always motion the tight end to now get leverage on the D end, right? Because if I was in pre-snap Y off, and this guy's in a 9, not what you want, right? So motion him. I don't care where you start him, motion him. So now we can get wider if we need to, and get leverage on that defensive end like they're doing here. Quarterbacks can take however you want to do it. Take a step, right? So a lot of people like, look, quick game over here. Take a step, and now we're booting. Same thing as like the keeper world. We're touching the C gap at 9 to 10 yards, and then coming back downhill, right? Reading it however we read it. Obviously, this world is just like stupid good. Have I talked about the pylon sales, that whole world, right? Great zone play, great zone check play. This is probably a one word thing for me. If I got any sort of like indication of pressure into it, we're checking the protection, or we're running like counter this way, or what are the million things you can do, right? We just don't want pressure right into this thing by an exterior pressure. Talked a lot about this in the past, so I'm going to go pretty fast. It's just so easy up front. These guys can do nothing. They're running full slide. They don't know the difference. And now we're running whatever concepts we want out here. I'm going to breeze through some of these, but there's nothing to talk about. One more look here. Same thing. We're motioning the tight end to get leverage on the defensive end no matter where he is. We're pinning him. This is a good job. The DN disappears. I'm waiting for the add-ups. Okay, so interior add-ups are an issue, right? So if this guy's down, the tight end's down just recklessly, right? And there's nothing to block, and now you get add-ups. You can go and pop the quarterback. If you go to pin the edge and the edge disappears like it does here, then just sit and wait for a mic or whatever you want to call that guy add up. And depending on who your quarterback is, right, you can lead block with a running back. or you can have him run the shoot. Stupid good play, though. The look, okay. So they're just adding this guy up, right? He's maybe looking edge pressure first to Mike add-on. I like that. That makes sense to me, depending on how you teach the running back. You can go edge pressure to add up if this guy's an athlete, right? Because he is now your quote-unquote flat component on whatever concept you want to throw out here. Your storms, your floods, your pylons. There's a ton of things we can do off of this. You can also do it with just your running back, right? If this guy is, or you can put your tight end back here, right? So you can still throw like your 10p look plays. I like it. I prefer still to have the tight end over here and just do like 4x1 quads and still roll it. But I do see people, these guys, do it with just their running back. Same thing, going to pin the edge. Obviously, not the matchup we want most weeks, though. It is an option, right? So here's your quick game to flood type thing. I'd probably just kill that side, nub it up, and run the same dash stuff, however you want to do it. Same dash flood pylons worlds, just out of 4x0. I don't care that they're going to push the coverage because I'm hitting this ball on the outside third. This is freaking beautiful if we can do this. If we can create 5 yards of separation somehow, right, these guys are also short setting, which helps. We can win a lot of football games throwing the ball if we can do this, especially if I don't have to do it with some sort of 5 or 6 man insert protection. And I can do it in this way that these guys are smoking a cigarette. I have one pressure point, okay, and that's the running back on the tight end, or running back on the D end. Right, so you can personnel it, put the tight end back here, and go do the same type of stuff. How can we steal reps? Push the ball down the field and not sit and drop back as a sitting duck. Actually, a really, really nice progression here is kind of what I was talking about with the tight end on dash. Right, the edge isn't coming. It's in man, or he drops, or he disappears, or whatever. Then I can sit and wait for the add up, right? Because this guy will go smoke the quarterback if he just kind of floats. Dash pick stuff's great. Really nice example here of a couple different good things. That is my issue. Tough one, right? That there's still enough color. I'm good with it. This, as a quarterback, you just have to understand this is now your issue. I kind of like the guard pull world for this type thing, right? These guys, like, let's get a guard involved back here and boot it, right? Try to help alleviate some of these issues. Okay, but that right there is the issue in Dash Pro. That is one of the issues, right? You have pressure issues, period. That is one of the issues. Skip that one. Last thing, kind of like the Baltimore Ravens, right? The predetermined rollouts where we take a 3-step drop and then roll out. Now they're not doing it with a chip. I would do it with a chip, but now we're oversetting, right? We're trying to invite these guys inside, overset. Now there's going to leak the center out, right? So your uncovered guy to the slide side, and he'll come back and he'll rat anything coming back out. Right, now you throw another thing, your floods or whatever you want to throw. Right, so overset to the slide side, invite them inside. Uncovered guy between these two is now the rat killer, right? So he's going to come flat, let everything pass, and then he's going to peek back inside if there's no pressure, right, and pick up anything coming out, right, because the quarterback's getting out here. Right, so I can throw all these deep-ass things out. I would never want to sit in the pocket at 10p and throw. Yeah, this stuff's awesome. All right, so I hope you lot of different options. Hope you took something from there that can help you on this season. All right, and try to protect against those behemoths we're all trying to block up front, who are generally much better than our guys.